we're back with our next video. So the next thing you'll see is lessons under the welcome folder. When you click lessons, this is going to take you to the main page of your class. So you're going to see elementary, you're going to see your class name and your grade. When you scroll down, all of the modules that you have access to will be there. You will not have this many modules to start off with. You will only have, you might not even have any. You will have access to these modules as we move along. So do not worry if you don't have any modules yet. There will be more that comes up here later. After this, you're going to click this back arrow button. And we went through everything in the welcome folder besides the welcome session assignment. We will go over that at the end because that is your Buzz assignment. There is an assignment that you have to do for me in Buzz that we will go over at the very end. And we will come back to this welcome session assignment. I'm going to click on this welcome folder again, this little arrow, and it's going to make that welcome folder go smaller so that all those little pieces are gone. They're not gone for good, they're just gone for now. The next thing we're going to do is open up the Getting Started folder. This folder is extremely important and you're going to learn a lot about Buzz. So the first thing that I want you to do is to click Things to Know. When you click Things to Know, it's going to open up your classwork and it says, what will I learn in Getting Started? Look at the pictures and words below for a hint about what you will learn in the Getting Started area. Select the next arrow above and let's get started. So you're going to learn about navigation. That means how to get around Buzz, what to click on. You're going to learn about lesson parts. What do you do in a lesson? You're going to learn about lesson specifics. You're going to learn about tips for success. You're going to learn about course pace, which is how fast or slow we move. And you're going to learn more about academic integrity. And remember, that means being honest with your online work. Now, from here, there are two ways that you can go to the next part. You can click this back arrow like we've been doing and click navigation. Or you can do what I prefer to do. And I'm going to go back to where we started, the things to know. And I use these green arrows. And it will take me to the next part. So the next part is about navigation or finding your way around. You're going to see an activity here where it says select each highlighted area to learn more about navigating your course. I see some highlighted areas up here, so I'm going to click them. When I click menu, it says use the menu icon on the left to navigate between the modules and access individual lessons in a module. Okay, so that's where I'm going to go if I want to go back to a previous module. I can click glossary. Use the glossary icon to review all glossary terms used in the course. So if there's a vocabulary word you don't know, you can go to the glossary to see if that word is in there to find out what it is. The print button will allow you to print the content that is in that section of the lesson. So if there's some information on a page that you want to print out, you can just hit the print button and print that yourself. There is another button up here, and that is the checklist. This checklist icon will display the current module's checklist. You can use this to help keep track of your work for the module. There is a resources button. You can use that button to access printable resources to print to complete the activities in the class. There's a toolbox. These have different things like a calculator and a stopwatch that you might need throughout your class. You can bookmark. Pretend, let's say that you are doing a lesson and then it's time for lunch. You can click this bookmark button on wherever you stop at. And then when you get back on your computer and log in, you can click the bookmark button again and it will take you right back to where you ended. The last option is the speech tool. And this is where you can click a button and it will read what's on your screen for you. You have the My Progress button, which will show you your progress in the module. Remember, a module lasts for many days at a time, so this will tell you how far along you are in your learning for that unit of study. And then we have these arrows at the top. These arrows will take you to navigate the pages. So you could use the right arrow to go to the next page, or if you need to go back a page, you can use the left arrow. If you want to go to the main home page of your course, you could click the home button. We've went through everything that's on this page, so I'm going to click the right arrow. And this is going to tell me more about the text-to-speech reader, so you can look at this. You'll see a speech tool guide at the bottom. If you click on that, it opens up a new page and tells you how to use the speech tool icon. I'm going to click the right arrow again. This is going to tell me about how to use the bookmark feature. The next page will tell me about course-specific instructions and how to read the directions. If we clicking the arrow, we're now at the lessons and assessments. This tells me about the parts of a lesson. We have a beginning where you will learn with your objectives. You'll have an introduction, and it will give you a preview of what you're going to learn and what you should understand by the time your lesson is finished. You'll have a middle, and this is where you need to read carefully to make sure that you understand what the lesson is trying to teach you. There will be activities for you to do to learn from your mistakes and to learn as you go. And then the end, you will always have some type of assignment or quiz to turn in for a grade with directions on how to turn it in. I'm going to click the arrow again. You can learn about your interactive notebook. Your interactive notebook is there to help you think, create, and apply what you're learning. You can learn about submitting your work and how we grade your work with rubrics. So remember, I'm going through this quickly, but I need you to go through all of these by yourself or with your parent if you want. The next part is submitting your work. So there are pre-tests, printables, and then there's multiple choice or exams. There's project-based assessments and discussion-based assessments or DBAs. These are the different types of assignments that you'll have in all of your classes from kindergarten all the way to fifth grade. So be sure to read all of these types of assignments to see what you will be expected to do. We're going to keep kicking that arrow. The next thing are icons. There will be different things that you'll see as you go through your lessons, and these will tell you what the icons mean. If you see this green background with a yellow book, that indicates that you are going to find out the objectives of what you will learn in this lesson. If you see the blue backdrop with the light bulb, that is your think about it. It wants you to stop for a moment when you see that and think about what it's telling you before you move on. If you see this cursive ABC with the example, that means it wants you to pay close attention to the example that it's giving you. If you see a orange with a pointer finger, that is a try it. It wants you to try a skill. If you see yellow with a notebook, that means write about it. It wants you to get a piece of paper and write. If you see the green with the speech bubble, it wants you to share what you know with somebody else. If you see an apple, that is enrichment. It's giving your brain a workout. It's an extra practice that you can do to put in more effort to practice a skill. You see orange with a notebook, that's a lesson summary. That gives you a chance to look back over what you've learned. And purple with a red book is a lesson wrap up. This will give you directions on what you need to complete and submit for that lesson. You will also see tips sometimes. These are really important. These are there to help you with your learning. We're going to keep clicking through these arrows. You're going to have interactive activities where there's going to be an activity. It's going to have questions. You're going to have to hit next. You're going to have to answer questions. Those are really important for you to make sure that you're trying. You're going to have videos to watch. You're going to have audio to listen to. Those are there to help you with your learning. The next part of this is our learning ABCs. So, grit is important for online learning. It can help you be successful in school and in life. Grit is when you keep trying, you stay focused, you practice, and you learn from your mistakes. And I know all of you are going to have amazing grit this year with your online learning. We're going to keep moving through our things to know. as we go through Buzz. Why is grit important? Grit helps us when learning gets hard, and learning always gets hard. It helps us be able to do things that seem impossible and to get through them. The next thing you're going to learn about are some tips for success, like making a schedule, reviewing information from your teacher, keeping in touch with your teacher, keeping all of your things together in one notebook, like your interactive notebook. Make sure to read through all of these. The next part is pace. This helps you keep track of your schedule so that you get everything done when it's supposed to be done. So this is going to give you some tips on how to do that. We're almost finished. The next part is academic integrity, which we talked about a little bit earlier. This is about being honest. When you read this section, you're going to learn about how you can be honest with your work. You're going to learn about how your parents can help you do your work by yourself, but with guidance. And you're going to learn about how your teachers, myself, Miss Bone, and Miss Mohan, how we will monitor to make sure that you are being honest. So you can see as I click that arrow, it took me back to the main page. That means that that folder is empty. So I'm going to use this arrow to go back. And that means that I went through all of these things in the Getting Started folder. So I'm going to close that folder. And I will be back in just a moment to tell you about your assignments.